Can't hear you, Tom.
Welcome, everybody. We're about to kick off. I'm joined by Gary. How you doing, Gary?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Took a sickie from work to be here.
Okay. Hopefully no one tells on you.
Nah, that's all right.
Also playing in the all-white kit. The lineup is Matt Turner in goal, Kieran Tierney at left back, Gabriel and Rob Holding centre backs, right back Takahiro Tomiyasu. In midfield, we've got Sam Milikonga and El Neni, joined by Fabio Vieira. And then the front three is our first team front three. That ball looks to be running a little bit slow on this pitch. It looks a bit wet.
Yeah, it looks like there's some sitting water.
Yeah.
Especially in the middle, looks a bit cut up already.
Yeah.
What do you think of the team, Tom?
Oh, that was silky. So my thoughts are this team that's been picked is adequate and should be more than sufficient to do the job. However, the presence of the front three tells me everything I always have been saying about the January transfer window. That is where we need reinforcements immediately.
Yeah. I thought
Because
exactly the
quite
same.
simply, you couldn't even drop one of those front three right now. Now, probably his Arteta's thinking is go out there, get 2 or 3 goals in, and then we'll start subbing you. But the fact that you had to play them front three and you didn't feel confident enough to say, oh, let me drop one of you for Marquinhos or Emil Smith-Rowe tells me you need more backup.
Yeah, that was my thoughts exactly. Literally word for word what you just said. It just shows how short we are.
Yeah, this pitch isn't conducive to.
And Vieira just give it away on the edge of the area, but it runs through to Turner. I'm watching live on ITV.
Well, I'm on live on ITV, but I'm on their app.
Okay.
ITV app. So I'm at 2:35 right now, Gaz.
Yeah, 3:24.
Wow. That far behind on the app.
It's normally about a minute, innit? Something like that.
But it's still. Oh.
You just saw Vieira give it away.
I just saw Vieira give it away.
I'm expecting a big performance from Vieira.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Out of all the players that you think is sort of match ready to step in into that first team lineup, he's the one, isn't he? He's the one player that you thought, well, yeah, he's shown us his qualities already. He scored some nice goals. The other night when we were looking at the Newcastle game and thinking, who could you change? Yeah. Personally, I didn't think you could change anything up front. But if there was one player, he would have been the one.
I didn't think in the Newcastle game he was ever going to bring Vieira on. I think the game just wasn't set out for him.
Too big a game.
I don't think I think it was just too physical. I think it was just too physical. I don't think it was the size of the game. I think he could be a big game player, but I think it's that physical aspect he just lacks. And the way that Newcastle were tackling and stuff like that, I just don't think it was his game.
Yeah, I get that. I get that completely.
That's why he didn't. That's why he couldn't make any of the subs, any other subs other than Tomiyasu. He saw that in the game, and that's what held him back. I want them to sell this white kit. I think it's really nice.
So I'll be honest with you, buddy. I cannot stand white kit. Absolute cannot stand white kits. And that's me being a Real Madrid fan all my life.
I actually like this kit. It's all right.
Yeah, I just cannot do. I cannot stomach white kit. Yeah, it is what it is.
I thought we would have seen Marquinhos tonight, and one of them would have got rested.
What minute are you
That
at
was
now, buddy?
5:50.
5:50. 40 seconds behind now. But yeah, I'm unfortunately just cannot stomach white. I've just got such an affliction, a hatred for the other team in white that I can't. I struggle, bro. I struggle. It's a mental health. It's a mental health problem. I really struggle to see Arsenal in white, which we've had now. What three kits in white? I know
Yeah,
we've also had white back in the 30s. I think it was.
that's
But
before my time.
I struggle. I struggle. Oh, what the hell?
Well, the opening 7 minutes now. Oxford. Well done, Turner. Well claimed. See, this is what worries me about this tone is that when you're playing these lower league teams and they go flying into challenges because we're Arsenal, because they're against the
Yeah,
Saka, because they're against the Martinelli, and
yeah,
one of these guys picks up an injury which puts him out for a couple of months. That's why I'm always so worried.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
I
want to
fear.
see them. I'd rather lose the game than see one of
Yeah,
these boys get injured and mess up the
yeah,
league.
absolutely.
So the January transfer window's running slow in it, and is it going to be like another Valvik where we're chasing all through the window and end up getting nobody?
Yeah. I
You
mean, to
know,
me, the difference between Vlahovic and Mudryk is clearly Mudryk is kicking his teeth in and saying, "There's no one else but Arsenal for me." He's. I don't know if you've
what Saka?
noticed. There's a
Oh,
right tone.
What's going on, gents? How you doing?
I was just gonna say, Gal. I don't know
they're
if you've
doing Vinci.
seen it, but there's
What's going on, guy? I'm all good, man. All good.
a tweet gone around that's got a picture of Mudryk in a jail, and it says "Free
Yeah,
Mudryk,"
yeah, I've
and he's
seen it. Yeah,
liked it.
I saw it today.
Yeah, it's like that tells you all you need to know. You know what I mean? It's not about.
Yeah, I think he wants to come, but then Shakhtar are holding out for this 88 million. And Are they going to get that? If they don't get it, are they going to sell? Can we afford to keep waiting and then end up with nothing? Because
Yeah,
for sure as hell, if we end up with nothing, nobody in, a couple of players in at all,
yeah,
we're not going to kick on and win the league.
yeah. I mean, to me, look, there's a couple of very, very important things going on here. Shakhtar clearly know the longer we keep it out there, the more chance we can force Arsenal's hand into having them up their price. Because they know Arsenal are desperate. And they know fully well Arsenal can afford it.
Yeah.
It's always been the case, though. That's
Yeah.
just how we do business. But I mean, they'll get it sorted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I kind of struggled to put this. I thought I'll bring some good vibes. I kind of struggled to fit into this kit. When you
What's that, 85, isn't it?
I word to sit in there just about fit on me, man.
That's from 85, isn't it?
Yeah, but
84, 85?
Nah, this is what was it, JVC?
Yeah.
Yeah, them times, yeah.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Samantha Price. Hi, how you doing, Samantha? Before I get in there, Tony, we was waiting for you to put us in the stream. Sorry. I do apologize. That was my fault. Big up to Harvey Taylor, who was in from early doors. Big up Football Fan 267. And big up to Cam.
And for all those new Arsenal fans out there, when you see that 6-yard box, you see all that mud? That's how the pitches used to be back in the day. That was standard procedure, man. I'm looking at thinking,
there was
wow.
no grass. There was no. What do you mean? This
Mate,
pitch was no grass on it. What are you talking about?
This pitch is positively a good one in olden day standards.
Believe me, that was probably Wembley.
Yeah.
Whoa, how's times have changed, man?
What's he trying to do there?
So I'm
Hey guys, what's going on, man? What's going on, guys? What's going on?
How you doing, Apollo?
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm in bed, man. That's why I've turned my camera off so you lot can't see me laying down in my bed.
How's your back?
It's not good, mate. It's not good. It's not good. I'm on the painkillers and the naproxen right now, so I can't sit in the chair in the office. So that's why I decided, look, yeah. So I just went and started the stream downstairs because me and Vincey was waiting in the room waiting for Tony to let us in.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
That's right. That's right. So how long that naproxen, does that really
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
I've got that.
You slipped to disc or something?
Look at this holding in the box.
Yeah, Vincey, it's anti-inflammatory. So you know ibuprofen. You know ibuprofen times that by a factor of 76, and that's naproxen.
I've never heard anyone say times something by 76 before. You know that?
Yeah, it's high-powered stuff, mate.
Normally you say times that by 100 or 50, but you went for 76.
Yeah, because those are the medical numbers, man. What's going on in the game, guys? Because I've been trying to get downstairs to turn the PC on, so I've missed the first 10 minutes.
Not much. Oxford had a couple of early little sorters into our box.
Apollo, you got a laptop?
No, I'm on my mobile phone. I'm on my mobile phone.
We've been a bit lax in possession, really. But
Can you get an ITV website?
Yeah, for a change, I've got a direct feed on cable, so I'm in my room watching Virgin Media on ITV. So my stream is pretty much. I'm on 13 minutes.
Yeah, mine's just clicked over to 13 minutes as well.
I don't even know. I'm looking at the web. I'll go on the TV now that you told me. I didn't know that it was on there.
Yeah,
it's on ITV.
All right. So get up to date. I'm gonna get you guys up.
Look, I haven't even done. Has Tony done the team sheet? Because I haven't done anything at the moment.
I didn't know because as soon as I came on, the game was kicking off.
Yeah, I started 5 or 10 minutes before the stream so I can talk about all that stuff. Yeah. But I know you lot don't turn up. You lot do black man time, so I just started at 8 because I thought if I do 7:55, no one's gonna.
I was actually sitting in the room 5 minutes before.
Oh,
I saw him. He was cleaning his glasses. Yeah. He was trying to see something without his glasses. I was laughing.
Tony, you know you can start at any time, even though it has a time on it. Yeah. All right, let me have a look at the team sheet. Yeah,
guys, I asked them.
Normally at this time, I'm on another stream. I do a boxing stream at 8 on a Monday called Monday Night Smoke. So I was kind of just boxing off a bit of that because I'm not obviously on it.
Did you guys get that? Boxing off a bit of that? Ha! Boom, boom.
Or what? Well played.
Hey, Vincey, my back might be mashed up, but I'm still here, bro.
Oops.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm normally on morphine. That's what they give me, morphine.
Oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, what it is, the naproxen takes the swelling down, so that's what eases up the pain. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I was asking Tony before you guys come on, what do you think about the front three that are playing tonight? I'm a little bit worried. I get worried when we play these lower league teams and we've got our proper people out.
So if you've seen the match preview, which I did setting up this stream, which I've done on the channel and on Facebook's, basically what I was saying is, look, Arsenal's on the attack now. Basically what I was saying is, City was starting there. That's a good overlap. It's into the box. Well done, goalkeeper. What I was saying is Man United were playing their stars. City were playing their big boys. Chelsea ain't got no big boys. They just got whatever they've got. Spurs were playing Son and Kane. So everyone is playing their first team. So we don't play until another 6 days. So when I looked at it like that, I was like, why would we be resting our players? There's no need. So I went from, me and Tony last week was talking about playing the reserves. I went from that into saying, just play the damn team and don't make a mistake like last year.
If you can't get past Oxford.
Tommy has got to do better there, hasn't he? I mean, I know you guys have seen it 30 seconds early, but he's got a free shot to find someone's feet and he passes it into the path of the goalkeeper. He's got to do way better there.
I think his defending is better than his attacking.
Yeah.
There's so much time.
Tony's done a shout out. Harvey Taylor, big shout out to him. Samantha Price. Cam is in the house.
What's the ball from Laconga that is?
267. Nice to see you all. Hope you guys are all enjoying the stream. Arsenal on the attack again, but listen, the Oxford can barely get out of their house at times.
Do you see that ball
Arsenal's
from
got Turner. What's that?
That pass from Laconga to set Martinelli away.
Yeah. Tomiyasu, it looked like it came off them. So Arsenal, Turner in goal, Tomiyasu holding Gabriel Turney, the back four, El Nene Nakonga in the middle, which kind of makes a bit of sense. Vieira is playing at the 10, and then you've got Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah up front. So there's not a lot of changes, really, guys. Bench-wise, he's got Ben White, Zinchenko, Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, Marquinhos, and Butler. He's got there on the bench as well. So you are going to see some of these players come on. Otherwise,
that's what you call a strong bench.
Yeah, because otherwise you've gone 2 weeks then without a games, and he doesn't want to do that. Like I said to you guys last week, he wants to keep them at the optimum level. So you realistically don't want to go and rest any of those guys for too long.
Just a quick question, Apollo. Is VAR working in the FA Cup?
Yeah, it is.
Not at Liverpool. Not at Liverpool, not.
But the only problem, though, Tony, with this game is you won't see VAR in this game because of the ruling that they have.
What's that, buddy? Explain that.
So VAR is in place in all FA Cup games, but only when a Premier League side plays at home, because the technology is already in place at those grounds. So to fit the there's no VAR tonight because Oxford are at home and they don't have VAR technology built in, and they don't have Hawkeye as well. Apparently, it costs 72 grand to put that technology into the ground. So that's why.
I get it. Yeah, that's why I asked the question, because I was thinking exactly the same thing. How do you put VAR in? Can you put in such a system if the ground's technology is, retrograded, so to speak? And I wasn't sure whether you could do partial bits of, because you could clearly use certain parts of VAR, but you couldn't do it on other parts. So if you see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, take for instance, I know the total. I spoke to, Boreham Wood Football Club's one of my customers. Yeah. I spoke to them. The technology costs about £76,000, and if you look at not just so much VAR as a whole, but the goals are actually different because they have the laser technology built in for Hawkeye. So it's a whole different, completely system which connects to the mainframe of the FA via Wi-Fi. So it's very difficult for a club that's not in the Premier League to just put a bit part system in, because there's a lot of wiring and all of that stuff done with the technology. So yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult to do.
So 20 minutes in, and not really much to talk about, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we've been bright, but obviously just because we got the players to do it. With Oxford, I think they'll be happy with the start, because when you're playing 20 minutes against a Premier League that's topping in the division, have only lost one game all season. Well, two if you count the Brighton game in the League Cup, and obviously they've not let in a goal, or they haven't really looked threatening Arsenal, to be honest. So I think Oxford would be happy where they are right now in the game, considering it's 0-0. I mean, Arsenal, they had a penalty shout, didn't they, on holding, but the referee weren't interested in that. So one has to think. I'm looking at Twitter, and what they're saying is if this was at the Emirates and it was VAR, they would have given a penalty.
The geezer just done Tierney off the ball there.
I was just going to ask how long does it take to take a free kick? I mean, what were they doing across there, Arsenal?
Hey, I can tell you what they were doing, Vincey, because it's me and you's favourite word. They were doing foolishness.
Come on, seriously? Yeah. Oh, my word.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry I can't pick up the comments quickly because on the PC I can see them fairly quickly. But on my mobile phone here, I've got to switch between pages, and it's a real pain in the backside. Yeah, I think they'd be happy. But when you look at Arsenal in the midfield, I mean, these guys are not used to playing together. And you've got, what I've seen is Fabio Vieira, Sambi are just trying to have exchange runs and to try and support Eddie Nketiah, and they're just not getting there. They're just not on it. It's difficult when you're playing a team without one of the most creative players in the Premier League and Martin Odegaard. It just changes the whole dynamic of the front line.
Okay, so let's put this into perspective here. Right, I know Gary just asked a question about Mudryk and whether or not we're going to get him. But Apollo, you just talked about Odegaard and his creative ability, and we've got Smith Rowe and he's on the bench. How long do you seriously think, based on what our first 11 is, and this is the FA Cup, are we going to be? How long is it going to take before we're going to get to the stage where we're going to be able to put out what is going to be a strong, quote unquote, very decent first 11
wow.
in the Cup?
Another
holding
about another 18 months. Summer 2024, really.
You think 18 months is going to take before we'll put a decent, be able, without having any impact on our if we were in the Premier League run?
Yeah, here comes Oxford. Oxford's in a shout. It's been deflected. It's Arsenal clear. Yeah, it's going to be at least another 18 months, Vincey.
What's your thoughts, Tony and Gary? What's your thoughts?
I mean, hold on, before you guys go, because of obvious reasons, because you're sometimes at this stage you're going, you're going 2 steps backwards to go sort of 1 step forward. So Arsenal are going to lose a ton of players. Well, not a ton of players, but they're going to lose a fair amount of players this summer. There's going to be the normal attrition rate where players not playing are going to go. There's the Cedric's got to leave as well, and El Nene's contract runs out. So there's going to be. It's funny. You've only got 23 players, and then you're going to lose another 2, and then maybe 3. Then you're down to 20 players. If Mudryk comes in, that's great, but you're still going to be at 21. So the factor is you're going to have the normal attrition rate that happens when people are coming in and coming out. But then again, the monetary side of it is next summer, 2024, the accelerator for Adidas's new 6-year deal kicks in. The Emirates Right Stadium, that's going to be renewed. So that's going to be an influx of an extra 30 million in a year. If we make the Champions League this year, that's an influx of another 42 million. So does that make sense? So you've got all of this stuff you're trying to do. You're in the red at the moment because you've put your foot out there and spent so much money to get to the top. And now you're at the top. Your books are still red, but all that influx of new cash is going to be coming in. And that's going to help you to stabilize some pieces in place. So unfortunately, that's going to take a little bit of time. What's going to help them, Vincey, is getting getting a few players like Tielemans, who isn't going to cost you nothing, put 5.2 million a year on his 100 grand a week salary, because that's what I'm hearing that he's asking for. He just wants 6 figures. Leicester at the moment are playing him about 35 grand a week. He's going to triple that going to Arsenal on a free contract. You're going to need a little bit more of those, and there's plenty of those going on in Europe now with almost everybody running down their contract.
So Tony, you're on mute. So what's your thoughts? Then we'll go to
Can
Gary.
someone just tell me that Bukayo Saka is okay? Because
yeah, he's fine. He's up.
He's okay.
He's fine.
So what's your thoughts on, because Apollo just said 18 months before we be able to put out a strong 11 that's not starting in the Premiership in the FA Cup. I personally think it's going to be longer. But what's your thoughts? Because if you imagine we're fighting for the Premiership right now, so next season, if you think we're going to be doing the same thing, our starting 11 is likely to.
Yeah, it makes no sense us dragging 18 months out before we start buying the players that we need to challenge for the title again. You're there. You know, everybody knows, yeah. When you're at this stage where you're in the heat of the moment, you have to take advantage, because a season or two ago, Chelsea were contenders for the title. They were talking about they were European champions.
Oh,
blah,
Rob
blah,
Holding,
blah.
what kind of a header is that? Sorry, Tom.
That's all right, buddy. You know, it just things change so quickly that you don't have time. You don't have 18 months to try and hope that we stay relevant.
Because Apollo was talking about players leaving.
All I need to mention is Leeds. Because anyone who's familiar with the story of Leeds is very, very fast demise from the very top of the Premiership or the very top of the league, to being a second division team.
And that started with the sale of Cantona, didn't it? And he was so pivotal for Leeds at the time. What's your thoughts, Gary?
Yeah, I think I can see Apollo's point about 18 months, but I can also tend to agree with you that it's going to be a bit longer. But I could also see if we rush and we don't get it right, we just fall back from where we are anyway. So it's got to be done properly, no matter how they do it and how quick they do it. Obviously, like you say, you're going to lose like the likes of El Neni, Cedric, and maybe one or two others. But then I think it's just finding the right players to bring in, and it's, you know, you're not just going to go and sign anyone just for the sake of it, just for a body. It's got to be the right person who plays how Arteta wants and fits into the team. So,
yeah, but you know, it's like, how much time do you spend like looking for that one player when you need 4 players, bro? You know what I mean? Like, literally, if you need 4 players, the first one out of the 4 has got to be done sharp.
It's got to be done, no longer.
Yeah, see, I'd like to see Arsenal
trying to get one player across the line when you need 4.
Yeah, see, I'd like to see Arsenal go out and go bang, 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 get them all in as soon as possible.
There you go.
Well, look, guys, Arsenal. Look, guys, Arsenal were in. Arsenal.
Let me just say, the way Arsenal conducting this Mudryk deal is, yeah, the deal will get done, but it'll be the only deal.
See the people standing on the car roof watching the game.
Yeah, and then you know that one player suddenly becomes the Pepe aspect, because everything is dependent on. Oh yeah, they are
standing on the car roof.
Dependent on this one kid coming in and changing up or making everything seem like it's working.
So, guys, I just want to put some narrative on it, because we have to remember at this point in time, it's there's a few things we have to counter. The first one is is that in regards to our second 11, we already have some pieces in there. You know, Turner's a good goalkeeper. Tomiyasu should be a first right back player. Many say so should Tierney. Not sure whether we can put Rob Holding in there, but he has done well every time he's played in the first team and was a part of the 22 game unbeaten run with Emery. In my opinion, I thought he was going to be a future Arsenal captain. The midfield, we can all agree, is a no. El Nene and Lokonga. El Nene is not going to be. El Nene is not going to be here anyway. So the midfield definitely no. Vieira, he's a nice piece, but and then Nketiah. So that's it. So you're looking at the fact that so what I'm saying is, Tony, you've already got some pieces there, especially in the back four, in regards to left back, right back, and goalkeeper. So you're probably gonna have to get someone to play alongside Holding. So you're gonna need two central midfielders. That's gonna be tough. That's not gonna be easy. Then you're gonna need another striker. You've got no backup for Martinelli and Saka. So there's pieces there, maybe 3 or 4, if you push it, maybe 5. But you're still talking about 6 or 7 players that you're bringing in. Yeah.
And did I not just say we need 4 pieces? So you're messing around trying to get the one out of 4 when what you should be doing is going, we've got 1, get the 1 done. Yeah. Then
but that's a hard.
Your efforts on 2 and 3.
But Tony, they are focusing. They are focusing on that, Tony. It's just. Right now, it's unfair to say just paid 100 million for this player. Okay, it's unfair to say that.
So
I get that. I do get that point, but I also get what Tony's saying.
Yeah, I get what Tony's saying, but in the real world, there are things happening. First of all, you don't just. Tony, hold on a second. There's things happening where you don't just lift up your. You know, I've been working in sales for over 35 years. You don't just lift up your hand. There's an art of negotiation in sales. You don't, Tony.
No. Sometimes you have to lift up your hand, Joe, bro.
There's an art of negotiation in sales that's always been there.
Sometimes you have to lift up your hand, bro.
No, not this. Not for a player, Tony. Not for a player that's worth 40 million. You're not going to give them 150% worth of the value of the player. You just aren't going to do that.
What did Stan Kroenke do to the LA Rams last year? Did he not put his hand in his pocket and get 2 of the best players in the league to get them to the Super Bowl and win the damn thing?
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying to you is you don't take a £40 million player and pay 150% of his value. You just don't do it. Yeah, you just don't do it. It's not good business. You know, if you haven't learned anything from the the Felix deal from Atletico Madrid, they're standing to lose millions and millions and millions of pounds on that deal, and so are we with Pepe. There's just certain things that you can't do. Not in this climate. Here comes Arsenal. It's a through ball. It's on the right hand side to Saka. Saka pegs it back. It goes in the middle. Nobody goes on the end of it.
That's another terrible cross from Tomiyasu, though.
Yeah, it is. It's not good.
I'm hearing it. I agree with everybody's comments. The problem is, what I don't like is that we use Pepe as the example of a trade that went wrong. Because I don't think Arsenal utilised Pepe the way they should have.
Oh my God!
I agree, but what I'm saying is
that's a penalty, man. That's a penalty.
So there's a penalty, bro.
Yeah, because he's used his hand to block. He's used his hand to block the shot. Yeah, he's used his hand to block the shot.
That's a penalty, man. That shot's on target. Come on, man. What have Arsenal got to do to get a penalty these days?
Yeah, he's not giving it, has he?
No, he's not giving it. He's dived to block the ball. But the ball's gone underneath the dive, and he's used his hand to almost save the ball, goalkeeper style.
It is a penalty, but like I said, if this was at the Emirates, you'd have had 2 penalties so far already. You'd have had 2 penalties. Yeah, guys, I need to address this because this is what I'm saying. You know, I always look at this as a business sense rather than looking at it as a fan. You got to think about how you're going to implement all these changes. The other thing is, there's 172 free agents in Europe this year. There's Yuri Tielemans, Jorginho from Chelsea, who's Arteta's been after for years. He'll probably come to Arsenal on the free. There's Will Zaha. There's Trossard for Brighton. He hasn't signed a new contract with them yet. Kante for Chelsea. Firmino, Liverpool. Gundogan, Man City. Ketia, Liverpool. Mina, a centre-back for Everton. David De Gea hasn't signed his new deal yet. Traore, Wolves. Lingard, Nottingham Forest. Lanzini, West Ham. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Liverpool. Cafull, West Ham. Diego Costa, we don't want him. Thiago Silva, Chelsea, him too all. But you get my point, though. I mean, Karim Benzema from Real Madrid, his contract's up. Thomas Lemar, who we were trying to get in France, at Atletico Madrid, his contract's up. Asensio, Real Madrid, his contract up. Toni Kroos, Memphis Depay, Martinez, Luka Modric, Marcos Alonso for Barcelona, Sergio Roberto, Nacho Fernandez, Busquets, David Silva, Felipe from Real Madrid, Diaz from Real Madrid.
Apollo, can I just say, to be honest, you're naming names that players that really and truly past, some of them are past their sell-by date and got no interest right now in...
Some of them have, but some of them haven't. Some of them haven't.
I know, but look, okay, this is what I'm trying to say is be realistic about the situation, okay? We bidding for a player in Modric's capacity, yeah, and his salary. It's not the fans calling for this is the club, okay? So we've got to look in the perspective of why is the club going for this type of player in regards to the players that they need. So to go back to Tony's point, if you're going to get one target and you're going to source for one target, but then that's going to be
sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I'll let you carry on. They've made 6 inquiries in the last week on players, from what Collins told me at London Coney. They've made 6 inquiries, so it might look in the media that we're going for one player, but in reality,
I know they're going for more. I know they're going for more, but going back to my original question is, you think it's going to be 18 months before we're going to get a strong FA Cup side based on players that aren't playing in the first team? I just can't see
that kind of cross.
Yeah, but remember, Vincey, I did say that there's already some pieces there. So whether it's just a third of the team, there's still some pieces in there. I mean, right now, Hussein Aouar is 25 years old. We were after him 2 years ago. He leaves on a free this.
Don't want him.
I know you don't want him, Tony, but I'm just making a point, Tony. Tony, it doesn't matter about that. I'm just making a point that that's a player that they were after a few years ago. He's on a free. This. So there's things they can do. There's things they can do. I don't know who the other players that they called in regards to their transfer. I know the only other one I know is Danilo, the 21-year-old centre back. He's the only guy that I know that they called, but I don't know what the result of that call was. So, look, man, I mean, at the end of the day, they've done really well with what they've had so far. I trust these guys to get it right. They're not going to sit with their hands behind their backs when they're top of the league. And all they need to do is add a few.
I hope not, because that's the way it's looking.
I hope they learn from last year, Apollo, because what you're saying, sounds like what they're doing now is what they did last year. Because I'm sorry to say it, but if you was doing your business in a proper manner, you'd have had a player signed by now. Yeah.
No, Tony, because
I agree with Tony.
Tony, because there's the team, there's the player, and there's the opposing team. So as much as you would want something to happen, there are obstacles in place.
How much did Cody cost?
40 million. I would have bought him in a heartbeat. I would have pulled the trigger on him in a heartbeat. I would have bought him in a heartbeat.
What was his release clause?
That was his release clause. 37 million euros. Sorry, 37 million pounds, which is 40 million euros.
So this is the point. It's like, this is where the analogy, I get frustrated when we use the analogy of Pepe to justify why Arsenal shouldn't pay big money for a player because he may not perform. But then you're going to go and try and target a player whose release clause is astronomical in comparison to, I know he's a huge fan of yours, Apollo, and Tony just mentioned Gakpo, where it's 30 mil. Yeah. It's like, how can you how can you then equate and say, well, you know what? Their sales is sales. It's relative, regardless of how you look at it. But I pointedly asked the question, 18 months. So yes, you've got to factor in injuries, but 18 months, you're expecting you can't play all your first teamers. So
what Bobby Fowler doing there?
Have a strong FA Cup team.
He's linked to Oxford,
have to
isn't
do
he?
something.
He's a part owner.
Yeah, I hear what
Oh,
you're
is he?
saying, Vincey. I hear what you're saying, but then again, take my original point, guys, where I said that a lot of these teams, well, get rid of it. Take my first point where I said a lot of these teams don't play reserve players. Here comes Martinelli on a long run. It's 1-on-1 with the left back, with the right back, and he's done well to tackle.
Too many
He's
I
done
think
well
in
there.
one sense, I think you've got to give credit to Arteta and his backroom staff in what they've done with the caliber of players that we have.
Agreed.
But it's understanding that you need to start that process and grow it, not just by one each year, because it's not going to allow the team to
grow as it should. You've got to go 2 or 3.
And this is the price. We live in the price of success right now. We're watching the Arsenal game, and it's a little bit naff.
Yeah. but I mean, like I said, if this was Liverpool, Man United, Man City, and Spurs, they would have played Odegaard today. They would have played Saliba. They would have played Partey, because that's what they did. Yeah. Newcastle didn't do that. The Newcastle played. Whoa! That could have gone anywhere. It's gone over the bar. That's Eddie Nketiah has just missed his chance by going over the bar. Gomeres and St. Maximum and all. Newcastle had a decent team out. They made 5 changes. It was still a decent team, but they lost.
So is it safe to say that Arsenal are now really a Premier League fighting team and not really a cup team at all?
Yes,
we don't have the squad for a cup team.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, perspective is always key. The top teams are playing their first teams in this competition. So when we don't, we're just falling in line with what all the other teams are doing. We've become so used to playing the reserves at certain competitions. We need to get out of that mindset, because the other teams, our rivals, are not doing that. They maybe make 2 or 3 changes, but they're not making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 changes, which is what we've become accustomed to. So realistically, what I'm trying to say is, yes, I know what everybody's saying in terms of our squad depth and everything else, but it really isn't.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, Apollo.
I'm not wrong. Look at the team sheets for our rivals, Tony.
No, because I do. And the thing is, you're wrong. Man City make changes, but when you're changing Foden for Grealish, nobody notices that actually you swapped £100 million player from a homegrown player worth 150 million. Yeah. So you say, oh, they didn't make any changes.
That's a bad example to use, bro.
So it didn't make a difference.
That's a terrible example to use, Tony. You're talking about a team that spent 400 million on defenders.
But that's what it's going to take, Apollo.
But we don't have that money, Tony. Simple as that.
No, but Apollo,
we don't have that money.
No, Apollo, no, you're talking about 400 million. We're talking about the quality that goes with the player. Yeah. So we're watching a game and we're having to talk about something else other than the game, because what's going on in the game is
not jaw dropping.
Yeah, and it's our midfield, Vincey. Our midfield has got no control over this game, and that's affecting. I think
it's a bit more than that as well. I think at the moment Oxford want it more.
That's affecting the supply to the attackers as well. It's affecting Nketiah's service, and it's affecting how the wide players are able to get the ball in place.
Because I think this is the second time I've seen us play this poor and we've worn this kit. So I think I'm going to blame the kit.
I did that last time when I looked at the Adidas contract and it was for 3 years, and it was like, oh no, we're going to wear this full white kit again. I just thought this kit's got no red on it, no blood, but it's bad blood because we can't win the game in it.
There's red around the numbers, isn't there? The edging
What's
of the
that?
numbers is red. The edging of
Yeah,
the
I-
numbers is
black.
red.
It's
It's
black.
black. Yeah, I was just
And
saying to
it looks
Tony, the
red on my. I
sponsors.
must change my TV.
I was saying to Tony, the sponsors weren't happy with the fact that there's no visible sponsorship on there, so they've outlined it to just let everybody see what it says on the shirt, and so everyone's happy.
But it is weird though for Arsenal,
Oh,
with our history in this trophy, for
He's
us
offside. He's offside. Thank you, linesman.
to not feel up for an FA Cup game, And unfortunately, we've got a terrible record in the third round going out. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating.
TV.
This is not pretty. This is not pretty at all.
it's rubbish. Is the word you're looking for?
Right, so guys,
you
that was a very unforgiving.
Are we allowed to say that, Gary?
No, that's why I kept my mouth shut.
Guys, the first half, I mean, we've had hardly any shots on goal. I mean, Nketiah's outstretched effort went over the bar, and it's been a poor game. That was a very unforgettable 45 minutes of football for either side. No one has had a shot on target. Not what we expected. Tony, could you check if Ebony is in the room waiting to come in, because she's just sent a message on the chat? All right, okay, wicked. Yeah, that was a snooze fest, which is strange because I'm lying in bed. So and it's only you guys keeping me awake.
So what's your thoughts on these games going to penalties after going straight to penalties after extra time in the third round?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah,
Can it go to a replay?
No,
because the Liverpool games going to a replay, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean the fixture pile-up is ridiculous. They can't deal with it as it is now, so I don't have a problem with it.
Why don't just go extra time and penalties?
Yeah, it's because the lower league teams get their revenue from this. Yeah, so if you don't have replays, you take that out of the equation. First of all, them playing at home is a revenue of 200 grand. Now, if you're aware, I know how Boreham Wood works because it's my local club. I know what 200 grand has done for Danny, his ownership over the years. Considering what happened with Tranmere, considering what happened when they had got to Wembley in the playoff, and all these different things, and they got to the 5th round before Boreham Wood. So it means a lot of money. And to top that, if it's a draw, they get to play in one of the best stadiums in Europe with a Premier League team. So that means a lot to them.
So what's it's something that between the FA Cup and the League Cup?
A League Cup, there's no money in the League Cup. There's no money. They make it's about 71,000 in the League Cup for a home game. It's not a lot of money. You earn triple that amount in the FA Cup. The FA Cup is the big boys. The FA Cup's a big boy, and obviously the FA Cup deals with non-league, and the League Cup doesn't. So the FA Cup is the grand old daddy. That's the most important one.
I got to say, I was expecting a much better performance today. Even though I knew that we was going to weaken the team, if you want to call it that. But I was expecting us to be commanding and, really go out and put these lots of the sword.
Yeah, not me, guys. Guys, this is the FA Cup. Look at what happened to Newcastle and Villa yesterday. Coming in here, there's no guarantees. Look what happened to us last year against Forest. There were no guarantees. You got to get out of these games with us by any means necessary. If you win 1-0 and it's dirty and grimy and muddy, I'll take it. This is the FA Cup, guys. We should have learned lessons from this competition before, man. We should know how it works.
I think I love the FA Cup. I look forward to us putting in a shift in the FA Cup, and all the talk after last year, and we're not taking it seriously, and we're gonna go and put a shift in, and it's like I understand dropping players, I understand the rotation, but I don't know if the players are actually taking opportunities because they're not going to get many.
Yeah.
It's frustrating that they're not taking these games and putting in a shift, because the teams they're playing against are up for it and they're putting in a shift.
I mean, this is a non-league team this is a once in a life opportunity for Oxford. Big shout out to Samantha Price, Samantha saying, taking a bit of time for the Gunners to score. Yeah, because we're in a hostile environment. We've lost. I think have we lost Gary?
Yeah, we lost Gary and Tony. They'll probably come back up.
Because I'm not on my PC, so I can't bring him in if he's faded out. So hopefully Tony's still there, so Tony will have to probably do it. So yeah, Samantha, look, we've seen a few shocks in this FA Cup this weekend, and it could be another one on here for Oxford. The problem is Oxford don't look as good going forward. They are a bit toothless. It's really down to us not imposing ourselves on the game. Oxford have been impressive defending, but when they've got the ball, they've taken far too long to get into transition, and it's easy for Arsenal to deal with. I mean, overall, 2 shots by both teams. Arsenal have 1 off target. Nobody's got 1 on target. It's safe to say we're witnessing a very different Arsenal team that has dominated the Premier League this season simply because of the midfield. There's no Odegaard, Xhaka, or Partey, and you take those aspects out, and then you lose a lot. You lose the cog in the machine. And at some point, Arteta's going to put those guys on the field, Vincey.
Yeah, I think it's a situation for me where I'd like to think, Lokonga, he's been dying to get on the pitch. El Nene put a shift in, and there's nothing. Yes, Oxford are up for it, but I don't see that they're doing anything that's really stopping our guys from playing the way that they should be playing, and that's the frustrating thing for me.
Right, I've just gone down to the office because Gary's been out of the stream and has been sitting in the room for a while, and so has Ebony. So I've just added them in, and now I'm going to go back upstairs into my bed.
Cheers, mate.
Hey, Ebony, Gary, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I picked up my phone and I accidentally clicked the button off to leave.
I thought so because Tony's not around to let you in, so that's why I went into the office just to see if I can prompt your entry. Ebony must have been in there for a while as well, so shout out to all of them.
Ebony turned into the wallpaper.
Turn on, Ebony.
I could be on for another round of painkillers here, but
it's amazing when you take like Odegaard out of the team and Partey out of the midfield, how bad Arsenal are. And do you know what, Apollo?
I think
this is the perfect example. Huh?
I think it's inexcusable when you think about it, because Partey demands the ball. I don't understand why Lokonga and El Nene aren't demanding the ball and using the ball in that position. Oxford aren't doing
seen it a couple of times. The ball comes into El Nene and his first thought is, I'm going to pass it backwards. Whereas Partey would let it roll across him and then open it up to the other side. We see Lokonga do it once in that half where the ball played around nice, first time out to Martinelli, but it's just not consistently done enough.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example of why Arteta did not bring Vieira on against Newcastle. Because the guy, when it's rough and tough, he ain't the guy. He's not the guy that's going to put in a shift for you. He hasn't been seen in this first half. I didn't even know he was on the pitch still.
But that worries me about... I mean, I love João Felix. I think he's a great player, but that worries me about him because, when you need that type of player to put that shift in, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it.
Well, don't worry about him because he's flying. His agent's flying into London as we speak to get something signed for Chelsea. They're in advanced talks now. Yeah, they're in advanced talks, which is a shame because I really wanted him.
When we've called on Nketiah, he's come in, he's put a shift in, he's run himself into the ground.
Yeah.
ESR, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Partey, you know what I mean? The 2 centre-backs, all the full-backs, they all run themselves into the ground. But
I mean, there's a danger of us not doing anything in January if this Mudryk, if they don't lower the price for Mudryk, And I'm hearing that they're in heavy talks about a third bid at the moment. But and Arsenal won't make a third bid if they know it's going to get rejected from what I've been told. So they're just in heavy talks as to try to come to a compromise rather than Arsenal just keep making a gazillion bids all the time. They have to land this player. If they don't, there's a danger that they could come out of January with nothing, which would be a disaster.
a disaster.
Deal right now with to Nice, is that have they agreed that they will take him on, or is he going to come back to us?
No, it's the
Well, they just
Arsenal
sacked their
want him.
manager, didn't they?
Arsenal want him. The player wants to play for Arsenal. He told them he does not want to play for Chelsea. So the Chelsea, from what Chelsea?
No, he's talking about Pepe.
Oh, what about
the
Pepe?
Pepe deal? Is the Pepe deal loan? Is it? Are they going to buy him at the end of this, or is he coming back to Arsenal?
There's no buy agreement at the end of the loan.
Wow.
And we
Well,
still
didn't
have
I read the other day that they was going to offer 22 million for him?
Well, yeah, that would cover his instalments. We still have another year or so on his instalments to pay. So we're still paying off for the player.
They just sacked their manager, didn't they?
Yeah.
Ebony.
So next season, what you're saying is this summer coming, we're going to have Reece Nelson, we're going to have Pepe, and both of those two players aren't really going to have a look in at Arsenal.
I don't think Pepe gets a look in anyway, regardless.
Well,
I think Nelson comes in over Pepe.
And the thing is, Pepe made his body language very clear when he was being outed by Arteta that he doesn't want to be here. I mean, I felt sorry for the kid because I'm a big fan of the player. And at some point, even when I remember there was one match we were playing and they wanted to put Pepe on with 10 minutes to go. And I said to you lot, if I was Pepe, I would just suck my teeth at him and turn the other way. I wouldn't go on. I'd just kiss my teeth at Arteta because it's gone beyond embarrassment for him now. He's, record signing, not favoured in the team, for various reasons, and he just wants to go to somewhere where he's appreciated. He's not appreciated here by the fans or the coaching staff. So I just don't think that's ever gonna. It should never be an option. It should never be an option for our sake and for the players' sake.
So then does that compromise us in looking for players who actually played the position of Pepe moving forward? Because there we have a player who's gonna. We said it before. If Modric comes in, just like you had the Rafinha. Okay, Rafinha probably would have started this season if he came. But if you're going to bring in that caliber player, he's not going to want to sit on the bench.
Well, like I said to you,
the manager's not going to bring him in more games.
So remember, Vincey, when I said because we are where we are now, we're in the upper echelon. We're not in the different market. We're not in the second tier market anymore. So all these different things comes with being a team in the upper echelon of football. So as fans, we've got to change our mindset from who's a starter and who's on the bench, because when you play for the teams at the top, like Liverpool or Man City, they all play. We went through the listing when I did the podcast on the midfielders, and we saw that Man City players only started 24 to 26 games on average, which means that there's 12 to 14 games they don't play. So, they share the spoils. That's what Jesus and Zinchenko are used to. They never played over 25 games for Manchester City in any of the 4 seasons. But at Arsenal, there should be no such thing as Saka starts on the right and Martinelli starts on the left. There should be just they all play, regardless.
But the manager does that, though.
But he hasn't got the tools to do it at the moment. So
we're looking at Saka. No, but he's had the tools to do. We're looking at Saka. This guy's played consistent football for 4 years. So we can't say that he hasn't had the tools. He's had players he could have played. He's chosen not to, and this is where we are. So, you made a point where saying where we in the top tier. What have we done to be in the top tier for us not to be able to look for a player on the same like as a Lakonga who's got the ability to perform? I'm a bit confused as to what we've done to get ourselves to the top tier in such a short space of time when you're looking for that top tier caliber of
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because that's part of the problem. We are way ahead of our development. Last year, our job was to get back into Europe. We were challenging for the top 4. This year, our job was to get into the top 4. We're now challenging for the title. So we're ahead of our development. So the planning, the finance, and everything else that goes with it is behind, because they're doing so well. They're literally outplaying our progress, our roadmap. They're outplaying themselves, and that's causing this frustration as to why we haven't got enough players and why we haven't got enough support in certain positions, and it's caused all of that. And I feel, like I said, when these things come, there's a fan perspective and a club's perspective. I always look at the club's perspective, because I imagine myself managing this at this level, and all the obstacles that you have to pass. Fans don't really look at obstacles. They just look at what's the end result, what's the end product result, what's on the pitch, what's on the bench. But there's a lot of intangibles that goes with that.
So Apollo, seriously, yeah, no joke aside, yeah. Put the fan aside, put the sales aside or whatever. You got a player who's got a contract. His value is 100 mil. Okay, you're Arsenal Football Club. Why are you approaching a player if you're not prepared to pay 100 mil for that caliber player and taking so? Why are we going for him?
Well, we're going for him because he suits our ethics, our ethos, the manager's philosophies. But the same thing I told Tony, his market value is 40 million. And the club are well within their rights to ask for as much money as they want, and that's what they're doing. And to be quite honest, I don't think anybody would pay that kind of money. We've seen clubs do that before. We use Joe and Felix as an example, 145 million euros. Go on, Eddie. Go on.
Play it back, reverse it.
No, he's just got. There's no one running in front of him, Gary. So he's just.
Yeah, but the ball was the reverse. He should have reversed it back.
There's nothing you can do with that. Yeah. So as I was saying, Tony, it's like, you get yourself in a position where, okay, you've shown us that you can do this by buying Pepe. Great. You made your mark. You've proved to everybody you got big money to spend. Fair enough. Now it's about building a squad and building a team and getting the best players you can to put in there that you think is possible. This guy Mudryk, he's not proven himself on the scale of being one of Europe's top players or anything. We're buying potential. That's the same thing like what happened with Ben White. We're buying potential. Same thing with Cody Gakpo. I think Cody Gakpo had a fantastic World Cup. But at the club level, he already made a name for himself with Ajax. Upon that, Mudryk hasn't made a name for himself. He's a stunning talent.
What's the point of that, man?
But that's sort of what it is at this point in time. No other big teams are in for him except for Arsenal, and obviously that's probably because he wants to come here. But what they're asking for the player is ludicrous. It's ludicrous, and to be quite frank, I wouldn't pay it if I was Arsenal. If I was in business and I own a football team and they were asking me 100 million euros for him, nah, I'd tell them where to go. I'd already be looking
what they thought would have changed the narrative, because Shakhtar don't mess about when it comes to their players and their transfer speed. So
yeah, they don't.
Apollo, can I just say something?
They don't, but their demands are just unrealistic, bro.
It's always been that way.
Apollo,
nothing's changed.
They're taking the piss.
Nothing's
changed.
Can I just
say something? You didn't complain about 50 million for Ben White.
No, I didn't, because I thought that's how much Ben White was worth.
But he's a defender. He doesn't score goals.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's how.
I would have paid 50 million for Ben White.
Exactly. He's an English player. He's an England international. If you look at Wan-Bissaka, if you look at Maguire, if you look at John Stones, you look at all them players. That's how much Ben White was worth. And if you look at him, how he's playing now, you can see that value in his game.
Did you just say Maguire? Maguire cost 80 million, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, but look at him now. You wouldn't pay 80 pence.
No, but my point was, you're paying because it's a British player. Go on! Oh God, we got out of jail there. That was silly. That was silly. Yeah, and as I said, you look at Wan-Bissaka and all them players, John Stones. That's the going rate. What was offered and what was paid for Ben White was fair. It was a fair deal that suited both parties.
So can I get this right then? Yeah. Tell me this.
Evening, Alex.
Is Shakhtar Donetsk a factory of football talent? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, what was that, Tony?
Is Shakhtar Donetsk a factory for producing high-class, world-class players?
You could say that they're one of the teams out there. They're not Ajax by any means, but yeah, you can say that they're a good feeder club.
Okay, so let me run through you some of the players that have come through the Ajax youth system. Yeah, Fernandinho, Douglas Costa.
How much did they go for? How much did he go for?
Alex Teixeira.
How much did he go for?
Jadson.
How much did was he sold for? You see where I'm coming from?
Luis
They weren't sold for
Adriano.
100 million.
Yeah. Ariel Serna.
Again, wasn't sold for 100 million.
Okay. So what does that tell you about the quality of the players that they're bringing through?
He's not worth 100 million,
Oh,
Tony. I'm sorry.
What a run.
What does
He's
it
not worth
tell
that
you
money.
about the quality of the players they're bringing through?
So, you know what? I think the question really. Let's flip it, Tony. Let's flip it.
Yeah.
Arsenal went out and did a swap deal with Manchester United for Mkhitaryan with Sanchez. Okay. Now, Mkhitaryan was at Shakhtar, but Arsenal probably wouldn't have seen his quality or were prepared to pay his price tag when he was younger. But we got a Mkhitaryan who was past his best. So it's not a case where the player doesn't have the ability. The players hasn't proved himself. The player's got talent. Arsenal aren't prepared to pay the young price for those players at Shakhtar Donetsk because we got an old Mkhitaryan in a swap deal for Sanchez who was washed. And players
that was a terrible deal, man.
That we got Mkhitaryan at that point. As a footballer, I'm bemused because if you saw a young Mkhitaryan, why would you not go out and buy that and pay the money for a young Mkhitaryan?
He's still a good player now. I'm a big fan of Mkhitaryan. He's still a good player
now.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, he just literally went from Roma after having 2 blinding seasons to AC Milan.
So it shows the player's got the talent and ability. It's not about his salary and his value.
So let me emphasize my point. Yeah. Shakhtar Donetsk, they're not Ajax, but they're very close to being a feeder club of high-class world talent.
Definitely.
Yeah? Because when Willian went
to Chelsea... Why don't Stan Kroenke just go and buy Shakhtar Donetsk?
Ain't that the truth? But you laughed at it, but that is actually would be a brilliant bit of business. Because guess where? All these players, they're coming from one club in Ukraine, and you kind of think, well, hang on a second. If I buy the club, I can have those players whenever I need them.
Yeah.
Yeah? You know,
well, it's another franchise, isn't it? America,
Liverpool, right?
England.
You know the owners at PSG are about to buy Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
Is that because they want their 2 teams to compete against each other? Hell no. One of them teams is going to be the winner.
Yeah.
And the other team's going to be the feeder.
I'm a firm believer in talent. I'm a firm believer in coaching. And if you've got those 2 things hand in hand, the player's value is going to justify. If you know how to use
sometimes you just need to pull the trigger and get something done. And if it turns out to be a flop, it turns out to be a flop. If it turns out to be successful, then it's happy days all round. You know, you can't live a champagne lifestyle on lemonade prices.
There you go.
Mm.
Hallelujah. Gary,
You know, you can
just said it absolutely 100%. I'm not saying Mudryk is going to guarantee you the league, but for crying out loud, we are calling out for one player to come in and be able to relieve either Saka or Martinelli or Nketiah up the front three. If you missed out on Gakpo, get the next freaking best. And this is the kid. And you know what? If you overspend a little bit,
Oh,
you're
go
gonna
on!
make it
That's
up
a great
because
ball
guess what?
through. Oh,
So if
go
you
on! There you go. Yes. Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper. Oh, we're getting there. It's close. It's getting close. Thank you. A shot on target. That's a great pass there.
I think that was
Little
the defender
back heel.
that cleared that, not the keeper. It was the defender, wasn't it?
Did you see the cheeky little back heel there?
Yeah, it was the defender that it was past the keeper. It was the defender that
Yeah.
cleared it off the line.
Corner to Arsenal. Cheeky little back heel there. That was a
You
nice
know,
play.
Arsenal are in with a fantastic chance of winning the league, finishing second at best. But they've got to go out and back in this window and bring in the reinforcements that he needs.
Ooh.
I mean, look, me looking at the situation, I would go and get Giroud. He's coming out of contract AC Milan, and I would go and bring him back for 6 months.
Yeah, it's
as
probably
another
not what
option.
they need.
I know it's not what they need, but I'm talking about short-term fix. Or that United are going to sign that Weghorst. Big, strong, target man, good in the air. We haven't had that since Giroud left. 10 million they're going to pay for him.
Everybody's getting pieces except Arsenal.
Gary, there's some off-field issues that's stopping Giroud coming back to Arsenal. So sometimes when players move on, they've got to move on.
Oh!
As good as they can still perform, they've got to move on.
What's his off-field issue then? Did he think with someone's watch?
Well, I don't think we want to discuss that much further on this channel because I don't want admin to get in trouble.
Okay.
The second corner to Arsenal here, guys. Saka's first shot, as I said, was cleared off the line. They went close. It's a much better corner. Go on! Yes!
I like to see Marquinhos play.
El Nene trying to...
I like to
It's
see
weird, isn't it?
Bench.
Oh, that's a good ball in. That's another corner to Arsenal. Yeah, another corner to Arsenal. Yeah, Marquinhos had 2 really good games, and then he had 2 really poor games, and we ain't seen him since.
Is he on the bench?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to see him have a good run out.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Emil Smith-Rowe's on the bench as well.
I'm not sold about this Vieira character. I'm really not.
Yeah, I like him, man. I like him. There's a lot of potential with him.
He's only 18.
Vieira?
Who?
Vieira. Or 20.
No, he's 22, I think, is he? Or 21?
22, I think.
Yeah, I think he's 21.
How was Vieira? How was Fabio? 22.
Yeah, he's 22. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, he's 22.
And just to add to that list of players, I forgot to mention Eduardo, who we bought from Shakhtar Donetsk.
He was brilliant, weren't he, that guy? If he hadn't broke his leg, we would have been solid.
Did we buy him from Shakhtar? We sold him to Shakhtar, didn't we? We sold him.
We sold him to Shakhtar.
We sold him to Shakhtar, yeah. Oh, that's cheeky.
But I remember Fernandinho, he was rumoured to be Arsenal to be interested in him, but we weren't prepared to pay because a lot of Brazilians go to Shakhtar, and we weren't prepared to pay the big money that their parent club want for the sale. Much like what happened to is it William Carvalho down at Sporting?
Mm.
Why is Sambi Lokonga behind him? Why is Holding not behind this guy?
So that was a throw-in by Oxford there. Oxford at the moment around the Arsenal penalty area. The ball gets crossed in. Oh, it's well defended there by Arsenal. Really good cross that was. Really put Arsenal in
Oxford
danger.
still on
They're
it,
on the edge of the they're still on the edge of the penalty area. It's a good tackle there. So well done, Arsenal. You got to be careful there. Anything could go in there. You could give away a penalty. We had 2 penalty shouts, to be honest. Silly, really. The second one was stone cold.
That one where he blocked it was a definite pen. See,
Yeah,
look,
and that was easy to see.
Apollo, this is reminiscent of the Newcastle game. Every time we get a free kick, they're picking up the ball, they're walking away, they're throwing it away.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And again, the referee's doing nothing there. Look, he fouled Saka. Referee's give a free kick. He walks 10, 15 yards with the ball and then throws the ball another 10 yards away.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a yellow card.
And Brown has finally got booked after throwing the Nketiah on the floor.
They haven't really got much pace to hurt us, though, Oxford.
No, he's thrown him on the floor again.
And kick the ball away.
And then kick the ball away. It's Gabriel. He's thrown Gabriel on the floor. Dirty tactics now. They're trying to follow what Newcastle did. Look, he's grabbed Gabriel by the neck and thrown him on the floor.
Round the throat.
Yeah, and he's not booked. Yeah, and he's
actually
not booked.
Arm across the throat, but that was actually his hand grabbing the windpipe and pulling him down.
Yeah, and he's not booked.
Surprise, surprise.
Eddie's give it
That's
away.
a good tackle there. I think that's Sambi.
Nah,
Sambi's having a decent.
Come on, Matt.
Sambi's having a decent game today.
That was Eddie.
Oh, that was Eddie.
Yeah, he gave the ball away, and he went and won it back.
Oh, look at that!
What a ball from Gabriel! Oh no.
Yeah, I know. I looked at it, and it's just got out to play. Yeah, so Brown gets a yellow card by hooking. Well, he was booked for Nketiah before that, but then Gabriel gets brought down.
Is he just taken off?
Xhaka's coming on.
Who went off?
Looks like Zinchenko's coming on. Tierney's coming off.
Oh, Tierney.
Yeah, Zinchenko and Xhaka are coming on. And Sambi and Tierney are coming off.
Yeah.
In the 60th minute.
Sambi off, man.
Sambi needs to come off anyway.
I prefer Sambi over Oneni, Mr. Backwards.
Come on, Arsenal, man. We should be like 3-0 up by now.
And it's frustrating because them same players will sit there, they're balling to get onto the pitch, and when they get on the pitch, they're just
Well,
I thought Sambi's had a good game. I don't think Oneni's done a
This guy looks like Dele Alli.
His brother plays for Newcastle, does he not? Is his brother not Jacob Murphy?
Yeah.
I mean, in that situation, Gary, I kind of agree with you. I'd keep Sambi on because otherwise you don't get to see what he's got.
What I'm saying. You see him for 60 minutes. He's just starting to grow into the game. Put him as the holder and let Xhaka do what Xhaka does.
Yeah.
Or what Xhaka done this season, we should say.
That's... Yeah, so like I said, Colin said to me, for those of you who was late, I think it was Ebony. So like I said, Ebony, Arsenal said today that they're not going to put in a third bid until Shakhtar agree the compromise. They're not.
You know what? As far as I'm look, if they want, who's that on the floor? If they want the player,
it's Martinelli, isn't it?
It's
Martinelli on the floor.
It is Martinelli. If Arsenal want a player, sometimes you just have to give them the money. I know that there are certain players that haven't really proved themselves in the Premiership because they haven't actually played at that type of level.
Well, so I'd love to sell to you guys, man. Easy sale, man. Tons of profits, all going around everybody.
Yeah, but we do that in life, Apollo. Look, I bet you've got a pair of Gucci loafers somewhere, yeah?
No.
Nope. You paid.
What does that know?
Definitely, I'm a bargain hunter, guys. Don't compare me to nobody. Okay, I got a lot of good quality stuff in my house, but I ain't paid $1 for it. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Fantastic, El Nene! What a goal!
El Nene with a header, but what a great free kick.
That's the one, guys. What a quality free kick there. Fabio Vieira with a delivery.
I still would have taken him off.
Delivery.
No, leave him on there. Leave him on there. Because sometimes El Nene actually does more than sideward, backways.
Hey,
No, he
and
really
Nene
don't.
scores goals, man. Now look at the quality of the delivery from
But
Fabio
it's all in the
Vieira.
delivery.
That
It's
was
all in the
peach.
delivery.
That was peach. Look how the ball dips. Did you see how the ball dipped on the last 5 yards?
Straight onto his head. Didn't even have to jump.
Quality.
He didn't even have to jump. It was literally head height.
Yeah, quality,
Look at
man.
that, perfect. Tomiyasu just missed it, and then he's right behind him, head for head.
That was all in the delivery, man. Quality by Fabio Vieira. Guys, sorry, I'm not in the office, so I can't put the graphics to show Arsenal 1-0, but I'm sure everybody gets it by now.
I'll do it.
Quality.
That was a good free kick from Vieira.
Brilliant free kick.
Yeah, that's what the game needed. You could tell Arsenal was sniffing around there. I mean, that was our 4th corner in the last 5 minutes.
Good goal. Good cross.
Did you see the way he whipped it in, Vinci?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you're dropping a dime in a bucket, man. I love the way the ball just dips in the last 5 yards. Yeah.
I'm pleased with El Nene.
So am I. He gets a lot of flack.
Listen, let's face it. He's been a decent professional for us, isn't he? He's been a decent player. He's hardly let us down when he's been called upon, and he's been
a big
old
Nene fan, man. But
I just feel for Lokonga, man. Lokonga's on the bench. I know he's happy for him, but he's like, you know what?
Here comes Oxford on the counter attack.
Rice. What do you make of the prospect of Declan Rice?
Oh yeah, Declan Rice. Arsenal really supposed to be
Rice.
Great tackle.
Yeah, I'd sign Declan Rice as a backup for Partey.
Oh! Get rid of it, guys. Yeah, sorry about that, Ebony. Yeah, Ebony. He practically leads the Premiership in passes intercepted and duels won. I mean, he literally ranks number 1 in 6 of the 10 categories for a defensive midfielder. So he's big business, Declan Rice.
He's going to be
I think he'll be quite a fit because we're lacking in the defensive midfield area.
Yeah, now he's worth 80 million. He's easily worth 80 million.
What tackle is that, man?
Yeah, he should get booked for that.
Is that?
Is he getting booked?
It's more, man.
No, of course he ain't. That's ridiculous. That's assault.
That's stupid.
If I've done that to a man in the street, I'm getting handcuffed.
This is the thing, Gary. You let them get away with stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying, but that's absolutely ridiculous. A challenge from behind like that. Look, the referees just ain't even gone over to talk to him or nothing.
What, is the player going to get booked?
No, he's just walked away, and the referee's just standing by Vieira, who's laying on the floor being treated.
This
a ridiculous challenge.
This referee's a joker.
Listen, I'm not being funny. If you'd done that in rugby, you'd be sent off. You would be sent off for that.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
It's ridiculous. Apollo. Oh, he's gone. I watched the old Buffalo Bills last night. I haven't watched American football in years. I haven't watched American football in years. And there was nothing else on. And I thought, well, let's watch this. It was a really good game.
Me and Tone's team play them next week in the wild card game, which is Dolphins versus Bills.
Yeah, Dolphins.
It's going to be lambs to the slaughter next week.
or Dolphins to the slaughter, more likely.
Tony,
is he still? Sorry,
what they said about Tui? Is he not coming back again this year?
David Platt in
I
the
don't
crowd.
think they're going to risk it.
Platt and Pat Rice are there.
Okay.
Yeah, Pat Rice, David Platt, Martin Keown, AP McCoy.
Okay.
You know the Dolphins signed
What kind of a free kick was that?
Week.
That was dreadful.
Who did they sign?
They signed a quarterback from the Giants practice squad.
Oh, okay.
Because the two quarterbacks we have in reserve are so bad between them that
Yeah,
literally
they did.
they got a fourth quarterback just in case.
What's that,
and
the
he was
Dolphins?
just as bad.
Yeah.
My son was asking me what it all meant, where it says like 1st and 10 and all this. And he's going to me, why are you watching this, Dad? Because there ain't nothing else on. But I said, I used to watch it in the 80s. It was quite big back in the late 80s. It was massive over here. I used to love watching it. Stay out for Super Bowl and everything.
Mm.
You know, but I really enjoyed the game, to be honest.
Yeah. Who are they playing? Oh, they played the Patriots, didn't they?
The Patriots, yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah, New England, yeah.
Yeah, the Patriots have got a good quarterback,
their quarterback,
Mac Jones.
Who's in the Bills quarterback? Is it something Allen, isn't it? Josh Allen?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, yeah. And they
He
got a guy
was
called
brilliant,
Stephon Diggs, who's like the number one
man,
wide
that
receiver.
touchdown yesterday was ridiculous.
Yeah, some of the touchdowns in that game were ridiculous. It was just like end to end. It was just went bomb, 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 bomb.
Yeah.
They got two touchdowns from kickoff.
Yeah, Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 touchdown returns, 101 yards and 90-something yards.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. We need some of that.
Good ball, El Nenny. Oh, should have gone. Go on, Eddie. Go on, Eddie. Yes, Eddie. 2-0.
Well done.
Nice walk around.
Yeah.
El Nenny passes it through to
come back very happy.
Saka. To Vieira. Vieira plays Eddie through. Eddie rounds the goalkeeper and gets his customary goal on his start. Brilliant play. Game, set, and match. Get Saka off. Get Martinelli off.
He's a goal machine.
I see the difference when El Nenny passes forward there.
He's got it.
And it's another assist for Vieira.
Yeah.
He's definitely
the
got
pass from Vieira was beautiful because it wrong-sided the defender completely.
Well, it wasn't that, Tone. It was the run from Nketiah made the pass happen. He didn't see where he was running and he could put it there.
Yeah.
And Eddie's so cool. Look, he just ran the keeper. Look at that. Have that. Thank you very much.
Great pass, Vieira. Great pass.
Great running, Nketiah. Great pass. Great finish. Simple as.
That's football.
And you got to give Granit Xhaka a bit of credit because he intercepts the ball, gets the.
No, it was El Nenny.
No,
it's Granit.
The original tackle was Granit Xhaka.
It's Granit Xhaka.
Oh, was it? You know what? These kicks, I can't even tell the difference, man. I'm blind as a bat.
Granit Xhaka gets the tackle, then El Nenny passes it to Vieira.
Great ball.
See, right now, I would be Martinelli, get off this pitch. Saka, sit the hell down. I wouldn't have them running about now.
Bring on Marquinhos, man. I want to see the youth.
Bring on Marquinhos and bring on ESR. Give him a 20-minute little cameo.
You have to. That's you see. That's
ridiculous. This is the man management that you don't want to see.
Modric early on, you could have been giving him some minutes now, but
yeah, you're trying to buy a bottle of Dom Perignon, but pay R White's prices, man. That's never going to work.
All Whites, you know.
Also a secret lemonade drinkers. That's their problem, man. That's their problem.
Oh, jokes.
I used to love that advert, man. I'm not trying to give it up, but it's one of those nuts.
it's.
I can see the guy doing the dance right now. Oh, keep him out. No foul. Oh, well played, Mr. Holding. I think that was. I'm terrible. My eyes are so bad. You wouldn't believe I drive a bus for a living.
Put your glasses on.
I'm waiting for him to come. It's because everything's white, innit? Yeah. So you can't.
It's pure white.
On my TV, I can't see who it is. The only place I can tell is Saka and Nketiah. and Gabriel at the back. But all the rest of them just look the same. Come on, Arteta. Let's get these boys off and let's get them rested.
I don't know why I thought this game was going to be on Sky.
Sky don't have FA Cup.
Oh, so you know what I mean? That Saka's down. Look, Saka's injured, and he's not looking good. Hamstring or ankle. He's laying on the floor. He's got his arms over his head, over his eyes. It's not looking good. See what I mean? This is ridiculous, man.
Hopefully he'll run it off.
Nah, he's walking off very gingerly. This is what I mean. We go 2-0 up. Take the man off. It was 4 minutes ago.
Okay,
As soon as that ball hit the net, he should have had these other guys coming on.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Sorry about that, guys. I've been talking to you for the last 5 minutes, not realising that I wasn't in the room. Sorry about that.
Eddie made it 2-0.
Yeah, I was here when Eddie. I was screaming about Eddie, and I realised that it wasn't showing.
Responding to you.
And Saka just picked up an injury and been subbed off for ESR.
Yeah, I was asking
And it's not
Vinci a
looking good
question,
for
and he
Saka.
didn't answer me, and I realised he didn't hear me because I wasn't in the room.
What was the question?
I forgot. It was a while ago. I forgot. It was about Eddie Nketiah, but I completely forgot.
No, it's a great finish. That remind me of what how Wright and Campbell used to link up.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say to you. Me and Gary was talking at the same time, and that's when I realised something was wrong. Here comes Arsenal again with Martinelli on the left-hand side. Oh, he's putting through. That's a lovely ball. Oh, what a finish! Oh, this guy just scores goals for fun. Eddie Nketiah with his second goal. What a ball from Martinelli.
What a finish. What a finish.
What a finish, and what a pass from Martinelli. Eddie's just ridiculous.
I ain't seen it yet.
Eddie's just ridiculous.
Apollo, what did we say about Nketiah?
Yeah, I know. That's every time I talk to him, I mention you as well. You can see here, look, Martinelli picks up the ball, he holds it. Look, there's a time he just cuts back and holds it. Is he offside?
No,
maybe
onside.
just a little, but there's no VAR, so it won't be overturned.
What a finish. What a finish.
What impresses me with that goal is Martinelli knows when to cut it back. He blasts forward, he looks around him, and then he there's poise in the attack. There's poise. He holds it back. And when he sees Eddie making a run, then he plays the ball through.
You know what, Apollo? That wasn't even a chip. I don't even know what you call that.
No,
Eddie knew that was smart.
He spun it into the turf, and that's it. It just gone. As it wasn't a chip, he just nabbed it.
That was all Eddie Nketiah. That was the thing. Martinelli probably should have played the ball a fraction of a second before, which would have put him onside. But it was just a quality. It was just a quality move. You can't defend against that.
Just left it.
I want one of these.
Martinelli's fitness levels must be sick, because this guy, he runs every game 90 minutes, and this is obviously subbed.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean that's kind of been documented. He has some kind of super engine.
Hey, doesn't he remind you of Merson, a young Merson, Martinelli?
Way. I mean, Merson was fit, but this kid is different. This kid is different, bro.
But don't forget, Merson was drinking and doing other stuff as well as playing football.
I give him his credit for whatever off challenges he had. Put him on the pitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Still run, man. Still do it. But yeah, man. Martinelli's engine.
Oxford are in full press, guys. They're in full press.
Bit too late now, mate. The game's
and they've won the ball back. They've won the ball back.
Who was that lost it? Holding, wasn't it?
No, it's on the right hand side. So who was that? Was it?
Yeah, it's Holding. No, it was Holding, I think. Yeah, Holding. Yeah.
Oxford just brought on their 19-year-old talent. At the moment, they're losing 3-0. They're at home. It's 78 minutes gone, and they want to give the crowd something. You know, the crowd has come here, filled the stadium. It's the FA Cup. Oxford want to give their crowd something to cheer for. So that's the reason why the tempo's up now. They run full press. They've got nothing to lose. It's good clearance
Martinelli
there.
sits to the right hand side, allowing ESR to go to the left.
So it was Vincey. Yeah. So Vincey, when Nketiah scores that first goal, he points to the floor and tells Vieira where he wants the ball placed. And when they was interviewing him with what's the guy's called? Miles's team. I keep forgetting what they were called. When they interviewed him, he said that he got that from Ian Wright. He said Ian Wright was coaching him at one point, and then Ian Wright said always point to tell the number 10 where you want the ball placed. Yeah. So when you saw the replay there, you love it when you see Eddie just pointing to that spot. Put it there, because that's where I'm going to make my run. And then
it was
Vieira
the run allowed the pass to be made, didn't it? It was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent run, excellent pass, excellent finish. Talking of Ian Wright, I actually listened to his podcast with Ben Foster the other day while I was driving the bus. And his story is like pretty amazing. He was telling like how he started in the game and he was considered too skinny. And they put him on a diet. They put him on a diet of steak and bananas, he was saying, to build him up. And he used to get super nervous and he thought he wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And he used to try, and then when he was in the non-league, he was saying about how he just used to really take the mickey. Like he'd score a hat-trick and then he'd be trying to hit the post, hit the crossbar, hit the post, hit the crossbar, just really taking the pee.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he had the chance and he made it from there. But he was talking about, Arsene Wenger, and it was a really interesting listen.
Nice.
Some stuff that I didn't know.
Eddie's just on a different level, man.
Yeah, man.
Eddie's on a level. There is not one guy. His goals per minute is just so ridiculous. You see all these players like, here they come again. Martinelli on the right. The ball comes into the middle. This time it comes to
Smith Rowe.
Was this Smith Rowe? Yeah.
Oh, just wide. Just wide.
Fluffs it.
Deflection corner.
He doesn't get it on target. He's in Ika's a space, but nice deflection. It came off it's a corner.
I've met Ian Wright a couple of times. I've met Ian Wright twice.
Substitutions. On comes Ben White and Marquinhos.
Yay.
Off goes Tomiyasu.
And it's got to be Vieira.
It might be Saka. It might be. Sorry, no, Saka, not Saka. Sorry, it might be Martinelli. Sorry.
No, it's Vieira. White for Tomiyasu, Vieira for Marquinhos.
That means Smith Rowe moves to the number 10.
Oh, should have scored. Smith Rowe. Unlucky.
I went to back in the day. I went to Paul Merson's testimonial dinner. My friend used to work with his brother in the stock exchange, and we all got tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And we were standing at the bar, and I turned round, and all the players walked in, like Dennis Bergkamp, Ian Wright, Tony Adams. They all just walked in the bar, and I've never been gobsmacked so much in my whole entire life. Just be standing in that room with all my heroes. It was mad.
Well, Tone will tell you those used to be my regulars, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Thanks to Tony, man.
Wow, Smith Rowe just gave the ball away. Some poor football there, Smith Rowe. You can say he ain't played football in months, so you got to give him a little bit of a run out.
I used to get my pencil and mark a day in the calendar every year. I was hanging out with Tony in London, the PFA after party with the boys and celebrating with the Arsenal boys when we did the double, the invincible season.
No, that must have been something else, man.
Absolutely awesome. Thanks to the man called Tony Clark. Legend, man, legend. Good banking it year in, year out.
We had some great times, me and you.
Always, great times,
oh, you got done there, Zinchenko, man. Zinchenko got done like a muppet there. He's gone to stand for a hot dog. Jesus, I've never seen someone get done so badly.
He hasn't had his Weetabix.
So he better eat 6
Weetabix. Nice little 3-0 here.
Yeah, that's
nice.
It was looking a little bit peaky at the first half, but I'm glad they turned it on in the second.
Yeah, I think the substitutions helped a lot with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Literally, as soon
Odegaard's
as the
been fully
first one
rested
came
as well.
on, as soon as the first one came on, we scored our first goal. That was like, okay, enough of this toying around business. Let's get this game over and done with.
And did you guys notice that when we had the free kick, one of their players picked up the ball and it was Xhaka that went over and bullied him off of it? I saw that. Xhaka went over and bullied him off of it and give the ball back to Vieira to take the free kick. There was none of that throwing the ball 10 yards down the pitch.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah, Xhaka has his place, man. He knows.
Yeah, man. He's not standing for no nonsense. I like them mans on the pitch, man. You need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they're not giving away penalties and free kicks.
Tell me about it. Thank you, Ebony.
Oh, come on,
You too,
ESR.
man. You too, so wrong.
Yeah, I just plead the fifth. Well, I stay quiet.
See him.
What happened to him?
Everybody just dust out when they talk about Xhaka.
Oh dear.
Oh, too much, man. Too much.
No, from what I saw the first half, well, I didn't even see the first half, but from what I understand, it was just like slow out of the block.
Yeah, man. We were talking about the pitch, remembering how the 18-yard box used to look like back in the day, because there was our football was just not saying it at all, man. It was a dour first half.
Oh, come on. That's a bad pass there, Mr. Elneny.
You did so well, Mohammed.
So, Tony, what's the oldest kit you've got? Because I know you've got loads of kits, man.
To be honest, right, I've actually given away most of the kits I've had.
What?
Because I've got, what it is I've always had tops that I got the odd player here and there to sign.
Yeah.
And now I've got a new breed of Arsenal fans in my family. And what I've done is I've given them each a signed top.
Yeah.
So they've all got in their house.
Yeah. I remember you had loads, yeah.
Yeah, because I've got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that one. That's my best signed top. But I had so many others that I gave them to the youngsters so they can say that is a signed top that my uncle gave me from Arsenal, and it's got X, Y, and Z on it. So literally, I don't have a bunch of them anymore. I literally, because it was like, why have I got these things just stacking up in a drawer?
Yeah.
So they're in people's houses on a wall now, which is far more, it makes more sense.
I only just got the bag out and I found all of these shirts. I'm thinking, Lord, how many? I used to spend money on shirts back in the day.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Is like, I have a massive collection of Arsenal tops, and I've got a massive collection of NBA tops. I'm like, really? I just it was just like getting too much. So I just literally said, you know what? Nah.
Tony, do you throw any of your Arsenal tops away? Because I threw two away the other day.
I
threw two away the other day.
I give them to my younger Arsenal fans in the family. In fact, one of my kids at school, I've been trying to get rid of this Man City top that I've had for years, signed by Anelka and Sylvain Distan. And I'm like, I don't want this top in my collection. I've also got a Bolton one as well.
I know. I know somewhere. My cousin who lives in Florida, I bought him a Man City top last year, and because he can't buy the stuff over there. So I said to him, "Don't worry, cuz I'll look after you." I bought him a Man City shirt. I've
just, obviously I've had a good relationship with Anelka, and he just gave me tops everywhere, every place he played. I got tops. So I'm like, I got all these tops, and I'm like, well, I've now got to a point in time where it's nice. They got sentimental value, but actually they're stuck in a drawer, just getting dust. So I just thought, you know what? I'd rather just give them to somebody who's going to cherish them.
Yeah, I've got a couple like that. I've got one of Art Monk's tops, which is on my Facebook wall. You guys have seen the jersey. And I've got my wife Lisa's a Green Bay fan. She's got a jumper which was given to her by the Minister of Defence, Reggie White. Probably one of the Packers.
Oh, well played, Zinchenko. What a ball that is.
It's a triple extra large, and so she can't wear it. It's too big for her, but she just keeps the sentimental value. Eddie's going for a hat trick there, but it was blocked.
You see that little ball from Zinchenko there, though?
Yeah. It's quality, mate. Just absolutely quality. Yeah, I like the tops are sentimental, and that's the reason why I think some people keep hold of theirs a lot. Like I said, I heard Ebony say something when I said I threw 2 Arsenal tops away the other day. Yeah, one was just too old, and the other one, somebody, not mentioning any names, messed the top up by putting it in the dryer. And so all the thing peeled off it, so I just dashed it. It was one of my favorite away tops as well. It was the yellow Cazorla away top with the blue things on the shoulder. So I love that top, man. But I had to dash it because I've got so much tops. You guys have to.
One? What year was the older one that you said that you threw away?
That was funny enough, it was the JVC top with the collar like the away top here. Sorry, like the
98.
Like the Holden top. Sorry. So the Holden top with that we're
like
wearing now.
Like this one, Apollo. You can see mine.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of that. I call it the Miss Doubtfire top. So I'm not a fan of it. So when it got crusty, I just said, yeah, bin, I'm good. Because I've got so many tops. I've got so many tops. So I just said, yeah, this is going in the bin. And the other one, that's the writings come off the chest. That one's going in the bin as well.
What about you and Gary? You guys got any old tops?
I've got a few old kits, like going back to the sort of like late 90s and stuff like that. But I don't really buy kits anymore. I mean, I bought these ones. Like these are knockoff ones, and I didn't buy. I paid 90 quid for all 5. I got the goalkeeper's top as well, didn't I?
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I showed it to Ebony.
I just got the kids, to be honest.
Look, wore that one, didn't he?
Boys, look, I haven't even mounted this one. Thierry Henry wore this top.
You better insure those,
Wicked.
Look how many signatures I got all over that.
Yeah.
I did have a couple of signed ones, but I don't know where they are now.
This is Henry, so it's like, you know what? That's what I'm dealing with. I've got just too many tops.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few myself.
Yeah, I do have quite a few, but I mean, seriously, I mean, the older ones I don't really wear anymore. I've got Arteta's jersey, where he lifted the FA Cup for Arsenal.
Oh wow!
I've got that one. I don't really wear those tops, to be honest. I just
What's your oldest top, Ebony?
Tops on tops.
Ebony, what's your oldest top?
My oldest top is the one that Tony is wearing.
Oh yeah, I love that one, Tony.
Yeah, I bought the 19
Rocastle, brilliant.
I bought the 1971 doubles top about 25 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, about 25 years ago. And
this one's special. Lee Dixon gave me this. This is his training kit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the one that Vince is wearing, that's the oldest top that I've got. And then I've got
the oldest I've got.
And then I've got the the 1971 home one as well.
Yeah, I know that one, Tone. I was going to wear it, but I thought, no, I'll save it.
See, I've got the 71 away one because I like the yellow tops.
Yeah,
I've got the away one.
I think I've got about 30.
That's the Man City one.
Yeah, signed. See, look, I've got Bear and Nelkas.
Game done, people. Game done.
This one's special, though. This one is special.
I want this new white one here.
That's the Real Madrid top, isn't it?
No, bro.
So Florentina.
Nintendo. Oh, Gabriel.
Florentina, isn't it?
Oh wow, Fiorentina.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I thought it was Florentina, but I was confused because you said Anelka.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You said Anelka, then you hold up a Florentina top, but I don't remember him playing for them.
I'll tell you why I got this top. Because the president of Fiorentina tried to sign Nicolas Anelka, and when they were in his office, he gave Anelka this top.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
a
and
backstory.
then he gave it to me. So that's pride. Look, how many? Look, I got another. I got everything he ever wore. I got it.
I'm calling you an alcohol from now on, man.
I got all of his tops, bro.
Anelka Cox.
An alcohol Cox.
All right, guys, listen. I've got 9% left on my battery. I know how you guys feel now. Every time you come on there with your mobile phones, how frustrating it is. I've got 9% on battery. So look, I'm quickly going to do player ratings, and then I'll leave the rest to you guys. Matt Turner is going to get a 6. He really didn't have a save to make in the game, to be honest. Tomiyasu, I'm going to give a 5. A little rusty. And he didn't do much going forward. He looked a little bit clumsy going forward, so he gets a 5. Rob Holding, I'm going to give him a 6. Gabriel, I'm going to give him a 7. Kieran Turney, I'm going to give him a 5.
Stop. Sorry, could you start again, but just say it a little bit slower?
What's that?
Can you start
Do it
again?
again, but just do it a little bit slower.
Why?
Because I'm typing it in.
Oh crap. All right, oh shoot. All right, sorry. Blah, blah, blah.
Pressure.
6, 5,
Right, so
6.
Turn a 6.
Tomiyasu 5.
Oh, hang on. Get my glasses off. Yeah.
yeah, so and who's next?
Holding 6.
Yep, Holding 6.
And then he was up to Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel 7.
Tierney.
Turney 5.
Hang on, stop.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
El Nene, I'm going to give a 7.5.
Yeah.
Sambi, I'm going to give a 4.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Fabio Vieira, I'm going to give an 8.
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka, I'm going to give a 5.
Yeah.
Eddie gets an 8.5, well, a 9.
Yeah.
And Gabriel Martinelli, he gets a 6. No, sorry, he gets a 7. He gets a 7. Yeah, he gets a 7.
Okay.
All right, guys, listen, I'll catch up with you later. Hold it down, everybody, man.
Take it easy, man.
See you later, Apollo.
Nice one. I'm still listening, by the way. I'm going to turn on my laptop so I can view it. All right, speak to you guys later.
Take
See you,
care,
mate.
buddy.
Yes.
So there you have it, guys. As Apollo's ratings are on screen. People in the comments, if you want to, at this point, put your comments in about who you thought was good, who you thought was bad, indifferent, please do so. We'd love to have a quick chat about that. But let's go around the houses and get you guys player ratings. To my left is Tony, so I guess I'll start with you.
Well, I'm only gonna rate Xhaka. I want to give Xhaka an 8. I thought he was awesome since coming on. Awesome. I'm gonna give Nketiah a 9.5, and Vieira, I want to give a 8. The rest of them, it's been good seeing you in white.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Ebony, what's your feelings?
All right. Well, I only saw the second half, so
You was lucky.
Nketiah, I'm going to give a 9. He scored 2 goals. I loved his first goal, that walk around, and he's being interviewed at the moment. Who else? Who else can I? Vieira, I give a 7. Martinelli 6, and I'm going to give El Neni a 7. Sambi, he's poor anyway, so I'm going to give him 3. That's it really. Because I didn't see the first half, What I understand, I'm glad I didn't see the first half because it was laboured. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna give right now because it's not fair.
Okay, I'm gonna turn up my volume. If everyone could turn off, and then we can listen to Eddie because I'm a little bit behind everyone.
Oh.
In the first half, I think we did that second half. What needed to improve? Yeah, just to think a bit more quality with the ball, a bit more calmness, patience. I think they wanted it to be rough, high tempo game, and we need to slow it down, play our pace. And I think we did that up with the intensity in the second half, and then obviously we got our reward. 2 more goals for you. Which one pleased you most? A lovely assist for the first, wasn't it? Yeah. Fabio Duclair, we've been talking about that, about that little dart and run and that reverse pass he's got there in his locker. So yeah, it was nice. I think obviously he took the first one nice, and I think second one was a nice little thing in it. So probably enjoy that a bit more. And knowing that you're playing, that you're going to start, how much is this run in the side boosting your confidence? Is helping you gather momentum? Yeah, obviously it's good. Every player wants to play. Whatever competition is, I always want to play. I always want to push and help the team. So I'm grateful, obviously, for the opportunities. And I just want to keep improving, keep working, and helping the team. The good news is you're through. The other news is it's Manchester City next away. Yeah, obviously not the best draw, but up for it. We'll recover. We've got a lot of games in between us, so we'll focus, recover, and focus on Tottenham first, and then after that we'll take the next games. Yeah. Kirana games coming up, Eddie. Tonight you are the Emirates Player of the Match. Thank you. Well done. Cheers.
So, can you just listen to what Ian Wright has to say?
Manchester United as well, but that's the thick end of the season. How much actually had it?
Cool. So, by my reckonings, I think we played Man City twice in like a week.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's correct.
Wow. So, even more reason to get reserves in, boy. Get the checkbook out, bro.
We're gonna need, regardless of what Apollo says, we've got to go and pay some money and get some players in. If we're 6 or 7 players short, that could be done in 2 or 3 windows.
Yeah.
2 or 3 in this window, 3 in the summer. That's 5 players.
Yeah. I mean, as ludicrous as it sounds, the João Felix 6-month deal would be brilliant, but the money's just too ludicrous. Yeah. But let's not forget, we have bought people in a January transfer window. We bought some significant people in. Am I not wrong in saying we bought Aubameyang in a January transfer window?
Aubameyang wasn't Arshavin as well.
Yeah. So it just goes to show. Sometimes you just got to go and get the player. And it starts a ripple effect because when Shakhtar get their money, they then start looking for another player, and this did it, and this did it, and this did it. At the end of the day, somebody ends up getting the better half of a deal. Now, we might not do, but I just think you just got to, provide this team with the ammunition to say, you know what, this is probably the best chance we got to put our foot on the throttle and go, let's actually give this a go.
That's the thing. I mean, listen, against Newcastle, our bench was so weak, he couldn't make an attacking substitution. Tonight in the FA Cup against Oxford in Division 2, are they? League 2? He's had to go with Saka, Martinelli and Nketiah. Ideally, you would have started Nketiah and you would have rested both of Saka and Martinelli and maybe given them like half hour towards the end if things weren't going well.
Yeah.
But that just shows you. Yeah, that just shows you how shallow our squad depth is, and it needs to be addressed. And it's got. I'm right in your camp here, Tone. It has to be addressed in this window. It has to be.
Can I just ask a quick question? I mean, is it not now time to get what's his name, Mudryk?
Yeah.
And Felix now. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
okay,
Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing that he's going to Chelsea, but me, and believing things when I actually see it. But I mean, at the end of the day, we've got the money, they're available. Just go and get them. Do what other teams do, and just pay the blasted money.
Yeah, Gary, on to you, mate. Give us your player ratings, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, player rating is pretty much 6s all round for the keeper and the defence. I don't think they really had a lot to do. I thought Holding was pretty decent today. He won most stuff in the air, and then for these long throws that was getting bombed in. Keeper didn't really have anything to do, so 6s all round for them guys. coming into the midfield. I'm going to give Sambi a 6 as well, because I thought he had a decent game. I know Apollo gave him a 4 and everybody gave him a 3, but I thought he had a decent game. You know, it's just a shame that he doesn't get the full 90 minutes. You know, to showcase what he has as a 6, as a holding midfielder. Martinelli, I'm going to give him a 7 in the second half. He came to life. Saka, I'm going to give him a 6. He was poor. I think for a couple of weeks now, he's looked jaded and maybe carrying a little injury. Maybe he come back for the World Cup slightly injured, didn't he? And I think maybe he's still carrying that. He doesn't look. Once he gets hit with a tackle, he seems to start walking with that kind of limp. You know, he doesn't look happy. Nketiah is going to get a 9, and Vieira gets an 8. Xhaka gets a 7. I think when he come on, the game changed. We had a presence about us. You know, he went and got the ball, and there was none of that antics trying to throw it away and hold on to it. You know, and I think that changed the game. So overall, happy with the performance. Happy to be in the next round and bring on City.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of my view, you know, I can't give Turner 6. I mean, he kept a clean sheet. He didn't have to do nothing major, but what he did was he did all right. So I have to give him a 7 if you keep a clean sheet. I'm tending to give the back 4 a 6. I'm tending to just go across the board a 6. El Neni, I'll give him a 7 because he kind of held it together in terms of the whole middle of the park. Sambi, I'd give. What did you give him, Gal? A 6?
6, yeah. Because I thought he started to grow into the game in the second half, didn't he? He was busy.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 6 as well, to be honest. I didn't think he was terrible. He didn't it weren't like he was giving away, you know, stupid passes or stuff.
Yeah, well, I would never have scored him. I would never have scored him a 3.
Yeah.
No, he was efficient. He was efficient.
Yeah, he done what he had to do.
Yeah. But he doesn't see a pass like, you know, obviously the likes of Thomas Partey or an Odegaard. So the ball does tend to labour in midfield. And
do you know what I think that is, Tone? I think that comes down to when you're not playing and you get your opportunity to play. I think sometimes in the back of your mind, you're so safety conscious because you don't want to make that mistake. You don't want to hit that 40-yard ball and miss your target because it makes you look bad. So you tend to keep it kind of neat, kind of safe. And you're not able to play your game.
The thing is, Sambi's played good when he's got runners and they're making moves. We weren't really doing so much of that in the first half. We were playing safe football, and that's not his strength.
Yeah. And that to me is where someone like Guendouzi makes such a big difference, because you know when Guendouzi gets that ball, he's out, he's gone. He's looking like, you know, where's my striker? I need to get that ball to my striker as quick as possible.
You should be here.
I mean, Sambi in pre-season was doing excellent things.
He was, yeah.
You know, he scored a couple of goals. He was looking really good, Sambi, in pre-season.
I'm not sure what's happened to him, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I say I don't know what's happened to him. It's a lack of action, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it comes down to with everybody.
Yeah,
I think he should go out on loan, Sambi.
You know what? You're absolutely right, because if you get in, what's his name from Leicester, Tielemans next year, then you kind of got to feel like, well, somebody's got to go. I mean, El Neni's going to find himself a new club because he's out of contract. But then you kind of go, do you keep Lokonga or do you let him out on a loan where he can do something for, you know, a year and then come back, like, you know, the way Balogun's come back, going to come back the way that, you know.
Okay, so Tony Ebony, you say put Sambi out on loan.
Yeah.
But I would say I would start him in the Europa. Give the player the confidence, because what I don't want is we keep putting players out on loan, but they're not performing for Arsenal. And when we need them to perform, they're not there. So if he's not starting in the Premiership, I don't see why some of these players are not given the opportunity, because they can play. They've shown in spurts in the Premiership that they can perform. Let
But
Let us get the Europa.
as he though, Vincey, because let's be honest, his Premier League time has been absolutely nil.
Yeah, but you got to look at Thomas Partey for that, haven't you? Partey plays the holding role, the single pivot, all on his own.
If Partey plays, Sambi not playing.
Let's not fool ourselves. Yeah, this ain't an 11-man game. Look at even the Invincibles, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the Invincibles. Henry, you know, didn't play every minute. You know, Kanu would come in. Kanu was a don.
Yeah.
Wiltord would play up front.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Parla, Gilberto, Vieira, all of that free.
And even Reyes. In Reyes, he didn't play every game.
Yeah.
And listen, not only that, don't forget you've got certain managers that will only make substitutions at certain times in the game. So where Wenger would maybe 70 minutes, you know, Emery may have been 65 minutes. Arteta's around the 80-minute mark. You know, they make substitution. If you're coming on for literally 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes here, you're not getting a chance to show what you can do. But then when you come in, it goes back to what I said before. You know, you try too hard and you make mistakes and you look like an idiot, or you don't try hard and then you look like Mr. Safety Conscious. You know, so there's no fine balance there, is there?
But I do believe these players have ability that they can actually start games for 100%. Arsenal.
Well, look at Eddie. Eddie's the perfect example.
Sambi's an 8, he's not a 6, so he doesn't do the Thomas Partey role, he does more of the Granit Xhaka role. But even there, he doesn't have that drive, because an 8 has to be literally the man behind the striker.
Yeah, but he did in pre-season, Tone. He scored a couple of goals in pre-season. He had it in pre-season. He can play it. He got forward. You know, he was looking decent. But then when you come in and then you got Odegaard, who's playing the 10, the 8, Xhaka's moved up into an 8/10 sometimes.
What's going on, Alex? Pick up yourself, man. Good to see you in the chat.
And don't forget, it's been an exceptional season. The team have played like literally at such a high sort of level of form. It's hard for all these fringe players to get the chance. Eddie gets a chance. Eddie gets a chance because Jesus is injured. Yeah. If Jesus is not injured, does Eddie score the goals that he scored in the last few games? Probably not.
Yeah, pick up yourself, man. Good to see you.
You know, so that's what's happening.
Yeah, fair shout. So I'm just going to finish off my votes then. So Sambi, I'm going to go 6. Pablo Vieira is going to get an 8. Saka's going to get a 6. Nketiah gets an 8.5. And Martinelli gets a 7. So that's my voting. I think, guys, I'm not going to keep you guys any much longer because it is, you know, a school night. I got to get myself tucked in for bed. And so if there's any last closing comments, just let me know what your final.
My last closing comment is just great to have a celebrity in the chat. Tevin Campbell, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Arsenal through and through. It's all about the badge, baby. It's all about the badge. Big up yourself.
My closing comments: bring on Man City. Bring on Man City. We can beat anyone. We can beat anyone.
Hang on a second. Before you bring on Man City, we've got a little matter of Tottenham and Man
I was just going to say that, so I was just going to say my closing comments. Bring on the Spuds. Bring on the Spuds.
The potato heads on.
Let's go smash some Spuds.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring them on. We'll beat them at home. Remember, I said that.
We're not at home. We're away.
Sorry. We'll beat them in the toilet. Remember, I said that.
It's going to be a tough game because boy, Kane started to find his
type that out, Tom. Type that out. We'll smash him in the toilet.
He's gonna
Spuds will get smashed in the toilet.
Yes, sir.
I reckon.
So no doubt. I mean, obviously, we'll be talking about this on the Premier League preview show on Friday night. If you guys are available, 9:00, we get that going. But guys, do just give me your feelings on the Tottenham game. Obviously, you know, the first 11 picks itself.
Yeah, I think first 11 is obviously picks itself. Form in Northampton derbies really goes out the window. One team can be top, one team can be bottom. It's not really going to make a lot of difference. It's whoever turns up on the day. On paper, we're favourites. It's a 50-50 game at the end of the day. If we turn up and play our game and impose ourselves on them, we win the game. If we allow them to impose themselves on us, which they haven't really got a lot, but one thing we can't do is keep giving away stupid freaking penalties, because that's what we do. That's how they score these goals.
I reckon 4-2 scoreline.
2-1.
4-2, I reckon.
I'm going 3-1 Arsenal.
So you're on mute, T?
I just got a call.
Okay. Yeah, I reckon 4-2.
2-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
Hell.
Oh, they're just talking about the combo on the TV.
Where the one comes from, don't you? The one comes from Harry Kane, because he's one goal away from being Tottenham's all-time top scorer or something like that.
Yeah, but he doesn't get a trophy for that. Doesn't get a, you know what?
They won the Audi Cup. Do you remember?
On my Facebook feed, it's all these. For some reason, when my mates comment on my Spurs mates comment on their Spurs sites, it comes up on my feed. I can't resist going on there to tell them about. I just want to put. Did they get a trophy for that? Is there a trophy for that? Is there a trophy for that? Like Kane and Song, the best duo ever. Did they get a trophy for that? For scoring 35 times together? Did they get a trophy for that?
So Kevin Campbell says Aston Villa beat Tottenham at home. Arsenal can walk over them. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1.
Of course.
Same as you, Gary, isn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I said. 3-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the real Mr. Kevin Campbell? Do you reckon?
I reckon it's the real one, man. Because you know
you.
Arsenal 1-1 is large now. So
anyway,
Ask him if he should have been black band close.
Ebony, let's leave the last hurrah to the gorgeous first lady of Arsenal. Go on, Ebony, give us your last hurrah.
First lady of 101.
We're going to beat Tottenham 2-1
in the toilet.
In the toilet. As far as the FA Cup goes, we're gonna do Man City.
Cool.
Because they're for
I'm
the
happy
taking.
with that.
I'll roll with that. I like that.
Yeah, we're all rolling the same way. We're all rolling down that hill together.
Excellent. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us, and
No problem.
have a lovely week. Well, as I said, catch you on Friday for the preview show, and then we'll be around for the show on Sunday against the dirty, who's.
Big up yourself, guys. Be safe. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
I'm going to my Facebook to make some comments.
See you later, guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.